All right, welcome to another deep dive. And today we're going to be digging into something pretty cool, something called AI DeepSeek. It's being talked about like it's going to change everything, revolutionize things. And I got to admit, I'm pretty intrigued. We've got all sorts of stuff to look at here, explanations, the technical stuff, and even some case studies, real world examples of this thing in action. So by the end of this, hopefully we'll both get it, like not just what it is, but WHY everyone's making such a fuss over it, and maybe, just maybe, get a glimpse of what it could mean for, well, everyone.
Yeah, you're right. There's definitely a lot of buzz around DeepSeek right now, and I think a lot of that excitement is warranted. This really could change how we use data on a fundamental level.
So, gotta start with the basics, right? What exactly is this AI DeepSeek thing? One of these papers defines it as like turning raw data into actionable insights. Okay, I get the data part. We're swimming in that these days. But actionable insights. Give me an example. Make that real.
Sure, so think about predicting how customers behave, right? In the old days, you'd look at what they bought before, maybe some demographics, that kind of stuff. But DeepSeek, this thing goes way deeper. It can analyze, let's say, what people are saying on social media, even like weather patterns, trying to find those hidden connections, things we'd never spot just looking at spreadsheets. And then you use those insights. Maybe you personalize marketing, or you figure out what to stock on the shelves. You could even potentially predict trends before they even happen.
So is it like having I don't know, a crystal ball for business?
There's that analogy. But instead of magic, it's running on algorithms and machine learning. Really sophisticated stuff.
Ah, machine learning. Can you give us a peek under the hood? I saw some terms in here like data ingestion and NLP, but don't go all techie jargon on me, okay?
No problem. We can keep it pretty straightforward. Think of DeepSeek as a multi-stage process. First, it's got to gather all that data from databases, sensors, social media feeds, even plain old text documents. That's the ingestion part. Then comes the heavy lifting, those machine learning algorithms I mentioned. They sift through all that data, and they're looking for patterns.
So it's not just finding trends that are obvious, it's like uncovering connections that are hidden.
Exactly. It's finding those correlations, subtle ones, that humans might miss completely. And it's not limited to numbers either. DeepSeek uses something called natural language processing, NLP for short. It can actually understand text. Like you can read a customer review and tell you if it's positive or negative, or figure out the main topics people are talking about in news articles, things like that.
Okay, that eye is pretty impressive. But even with all that analysis, if it just spits out a bunch of numbers, who's going to make sense of it?
Good point. So the last stage is all about making those insights understandable. DeepSeek often uses data visualization, creating charts, graphs, dashboards, stuff that humans can actually look at and grasp.
So it's like a detective, right? Like,
Yeah.
not only solves the case, but then presents it all nice and neat at the end.
I like that.
I-
And that's why it's so powerful. It's not just about the number crunching. It's about turning data into actual knowledge, something you can use.
Okay, so we're getting a clear picture of what this DeepSeek thing is, how it works. But the big question is, where's it being used? This report on applications is pretty mind-blowing. Seems like DeepSeek is popping up everywhere.
It's a very versatile tool, that's for sure. One area where it's making a big splash is healthcare.
Oh, yeah, I was reading about that. They're using it to predict diseases, right? I mean, is that even possible? Sounds like something out of Star Trek.
It's becoming less sci-fi and more reality every day, believe me. They're using DeepSeek to look at genetic data, medical records, even lifestyle choices people make. It tries to identify those who are at high risk for, say, heart disease or diabetes. And that early intervention, that could save lives, right? It's not just about treating disease, but preventing it in the first place.
Wow, that is incredible.
Yeah.
But it's not just healthcare, is it? I saw examples in finance, retail, all sorts of places.
You got it. In finance, they're using DeepSeek to fight fraud. It can analyze transactions in real time, flagging anything that looks fishy. Especially important these days, with everything moving so fast online.
So it's like a super-powered security guard for your money.
Exactly. And in retail, well, it's changing how companies understand their customers. DeepSeek looks at what people buy, what they browse, what they're saying online, even those reviews we talked about. And it can predict what people want, sometimes even before they know it themselves. That means businesses can personalize their offers, make sure they have the right stuff in stock. It's all about making the customer happy, ultimately.
It's like taking those recommendations you see online and turning it up to 11.
You could say that.
Yeah.
And these are just a few examples.
I mean, the potential here, it's huge, right?
Absolutely. The applications are vast, and
Yeah.
new ones are popping up all the time.
What really strikes me is that this DeepSeek isn't just about looking back at what happened. It's about, like, predicting the future.
That's a key point. It's a forward-looking tool, not just understanding the past, but anticipating what's coming next. And that's what makes it so powerful, I think.
So we've got this tool. It's versatile, powerful, maybe even a little bit spooky with this whole prediction thing. But what makes DeepSeek truly unique? What's its secret sauce?
Well, there are a few key features that set it apart from other data analysis tools out there.
This report mentions its ability to analyze things in real time. What does that actually mean?
In the past, data analysis was slow, cumbersome. Companies would wait weeks, even months, for reports to be generated. But DeepSeek can analyze data as it comes in, providing insights in real time so businesses can adapt quickly, see a change, and react right away.
So speed is a big deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In today's world, everything moves so fast, DeepSeek lets you keep up, even stay ahead of the curve.
This report also mentions something called scalability.
Right, scalability. That means DeepSeek can handle massive amounts of data from all sorts of sources. It works for a small business with a simple database, and it works for a giant corporation with data warehouses you wouldn't believe.
So it can grow with a business, essentially.
Exactly. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Anything else that makes DeepSeek stand out?
One more thing, it's very customizable. You can tailor it to fit specific needs. Different businesses, different industries, they all use data in different ways. DeepSeek can adapt to that.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. We know what DeepSeek is, how it works, what makes it special. But let's bring it back down to earth for a second. How does all this benefit, regular people? What are the real-world advantages of using something like DeepSeek?
At its core, DeepSeek is about making better decisions. Whether you're in healthcare, finance, retail, whatever, DeepSeek gives you the information you need to make smarter choices.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want that? Better decisions, that's pretty universal, right?
Absolutely. And it's not just about quality, it's about efficiency too. DeepSeek can do a lot of the work that human analysts used to do, freeing them up for other tasks.
So it's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. And don't forget about accuracy. DeepSeek can process huge amounts of data without getting tired, without making human mistakes. So the results are more reliable, you can trust the data more.
This sounds almost too good to be true. Are there any downsides, any catches?
Well, no technology is perfect, right?
Yeah.
There are definitely some challenges and limitations to keep in mind.
Like what?
One of the biggest is data quality. DeepSeek relies on having good data to work with. If the data going in is bad, the insights coming out will be bad too.
So it's not a miracle worker. Can't just polish up any old data.
Nope, DeepSeek can only be as good as the data it's given. Another challenge is the complexity. Setting up and managing a system like DeepSeek can be tough. It often requires specialized knowledge.
So it's not like plug and play.
Not really. It can require a significant investment, both upfront and ongoing. But even with those challenges, I think the potential benefits are hard to ignore.
Yeah, and it seems like we're only just getting started with DeepSeek. This report talks about the future of this tech, and some of it is, well, pretty wild.
It's exciting to think about where this could all lead.
Before we jump into that, though, I think we need a quick break. We'll be back in a few minutes to explore the future of DeepSeek and what it might mean for all of us. Okay, so we're back, and before the break we were getting into some of the potential downsides of AI DeepSeek, like, making sure the data's good and having the right people to run the thing. But now I want to dive into something that really caught my eye in this report, the future prospects section. I mean, some of this stuff sounds like it's straight out of science fiction.
It is pretty mind-blowing when you think about where DeepSeek and AI in general could be headed. The progress we're seeing is incredible. The pace of development is just so fast.
One thing that jumped out at me was this idea of AI integration. Does that mean, like, DeepSeek's going to keep getting smarter as AI tech itself improves?
That's exactly it. Remember, DeepSeek is built on machine learning and that field, constantly evolving, always pushing the boundaries. So yeah, we can expect DeepSeek to incorporate those new breakthroughs, deep learning, maybe even quantum computing someday.
Wow, okay, so it's not just a static tool. It's going to keep learning and growing.
Think of it as a constant upgrade cycle. New algorithms, more powerful computers, all that feeds into DeepSeek, making it even better at finding those insights.
So DeepSeek's getting a brain upgrade. What else is in the pipeline? This report mentioned something called global adoption.
Right now, DeepSeek's mainly being used by early adopters, companies that are always on the cutting edge. But as more businesses realize the power of data-driven decisions, well, we can expect to see DeepSeek being used everywhere.
So it's not just going to be a niche tool for tech companies. It's going to go mainstream.
That's the prediction, yeah. We're already seeing interest from hospitals, banks, retailers, manufacturers, even government agencies.
Wow, so this could really touch every part of our lives.
Potentially, yes. The applications are so broad, it's hard to imagine an industry that won't be affected in some way.
Okay, one more prediction that I found really interesting. This collaborative AI concept, what does that even mean? Is DeepSeek going to start teaming up with humans?
Uh-huh. In a way, yes. The idea behind collaborative AI is that instead of replacing us, AI systems like DeepSeek will work with us, augmenting our abilities, giving us the information and tools we need to make better decisions.
So it's not about humans versus machines, but humans A&D machines working together.
Exactly. We each bring something different to the table. AI is great at processing huge amounts of data, spotting those patterns we talked about. But humans, we've got intuition, creativity, a sense of the bigger picture.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. Not quite ready for the robot uprising just yet.
Neither. This is about using AI to empower humans, not replace them.
So DeepSeek's getting smarter, it's going to be everywhere, and Neat's going to be our partner, not our competitor. Is there anything else this report says about its future?
There's a whole section here on interesting facts about DeepSeek, some unexpected ways it's being used already. Did you know it's being deployed in disaster response?
No, really?
No.
That's amazing. How does that even work?
So imagine a natural disaster, right? Earthquake, hurricane, something like that. Afterwards, it's chaos, trying to figure out what happened, where to send help. DeepSeek can help with all of that.
By doing what specifically?
It can analyze data from all sorts of sources, weather sensors, social media, even satellite images. It can help predict where a disaster might hit and then assess the damage afterwards.
So it could actually help get aid to the people who need it most.
Exactly. It's about making those relief efforts more effective, more targeted.
Wow, that could actually save lives.
It has the potential, definitely. And it's not just about disasters either. DeepSeek is being used for environmental monitoring.
Oh yeah, I saw something about that, like tracking deforestation, right?
That's one example. DeepSeek can look at satellite images and see where forests are being cut down. It can also track pollution, monitor climate change, even predict future environmental trends.
So DeepSeek is not just helping us understand our world, but also protect it.
That's the goal, ultimately. The more we know about our environment, the better decisions we can make about how to manage it.
This is all incredibly impressive, but gotta be honest, it's also a little bit scary. I mean, this technology, it's so powerful. It makes you wonder what it means for the future of work, you know? Will AI like DeepSeek eventually automate away our jobs?
It's a question a lot of people are asking, and it's a valid concern. There's no doubt that AI will change the way we work. Some jobs will be automated, that's inevitable, but new jobs will also be created.
So it's not necessarily a doom and gloom scenario.
Not at all. It's more about adapting, evolving. The key is to develop skills that complement AI, not compete with it.
Like what?
Creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, emotional intelligence.
So it's not about humans versus machines, but figuring out how to work together effectively.
Exactly. The future of work will be one where humans and AI collaborate, each playing to their strengths.
Okay, that's reassuring. But I still can't help but wonder about the impact on our lives, you know? On a personal level, will AI like DeepSeek change how we interact with the world, how we make decisions, even how we think?
Those are big questions, and I don't think anyone have all the answers yet. What we do know is that AI is already having a huge impact, and that impact is only going to grow.
So it's not just about data and algorithms, but about the bigger picture, the philosophical implications of all this.
Exactly. And that's why these conversations are so important. We need to explore both the benefits and the risks of AI and make sure that how we develop and use it aligns with our values as humans.
Whew, okay, I think I'm getting a little bit of an existential crisis here. Maybe we need a moment to gather our thoughts before we dive any deeper into this rabbit hole.
Good idea. Let's take a break and come back refreshed to wrap things up and really contemplate the future of AI and what it means for all of us.
All right, welcome back to the deep dive. I gotta say, that last part really got me thinking, about the big picture. This DeepSeek thing, it's clearly powerful, but it's more than that. It's forcing us to ask some pretty fundamental questions about, our relationship with technology, with data, even with what it means to be human.
Yeah, I think you're hitting on something important there. DeepSeek, it's a fascinating lens through which to examine these bigger issues. It's not just about, crunching numbers or making predictions. It's about the choices we make as a society, where we want to go as a species.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, What are the key takeaways about DeepSeek? What should our listeners walk away understanding?
I'd say the first takeaway is that DeepSeek is a game changer, no doubt about it. It's already being used in some pretty amazing ways, and we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah, we talked about healthcare, finance, retail, even disaster response and environmental protection. It seems like the possibilities are almost endless.
And as AI tech keeps advancing, DeepSeek will keep getting better, more powerful, more capable.
But it's not a magic solution, right? We talked about data quality, the need for expertise to make it work properly.
Absolutely. DeepSeek is a tool, and like any tool, it needs to be used responsibly, ethically. It can't replace human judgment, human decision-making.
So powerful, versatile, rapidly evolving, but also comes with responsibilities.
Got it. But what about the big picture? This report talked about some pretty mind-blowing possibilities for the future of AI. Global adoption, collaborative AI. It's almost like we're on the cusp of something completely new.
I think that's a fair assessment. The question is, what kind of future do we want to create? AI has the potential to solve some of humanity's biggest challenges, but it also presents some significant risks, ethical dilemmas we need to address.
It's like we're standing at a crossroads, right? With DeepSeek and AI in general pointing us towards a bunch of different paths.
That's a great way to put it. And the choices we make today, those will determine which path we ultimately take. So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we choose to use it, how we integrate it into our lives, into society, how we make sure it serves humanity, not the other way around.
Exactly. It's a responsibility we all share. Technologists, business leaders, policymakers, and everyday citizens.
Okay, so here's what I'm taking away from this deep dive. AI DeepSeek is fascinating, powerful, and potentially world-changing. It could do a lot of good, but it also comes with risks. And ultimately, the future of AI, it's up to us to shape.
I think that sums it up perfectly.
Hmm.
We need to stay informed, have these conversations, and be active in shaping the future we want.
Well said. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive, but we'll leave you with one final thought to ponder. If AI, like DeepSeek, becomes as widespread as this report predicts, how will it change our relationship with data? Will we become more reliant on it, more trusting of its insights, or maybe even more skeptical? It's something to think about as we navigate this exciting, uncharted territory. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep exploring.